right, how do you see me now? Sorry about that. This internet connection is not the greatest. Spotters podcast. Let me know. Hey, Alex. Let me know if you get better. There you go. Yeah, I know it froze up. Hey, John.
Hey, how are you?
Finally. Good, man. Yeah, I had to get off Wi-Fi. This thing is a little slow on my side.
Yeah, I did the same on mine.
Yeah. All right. Well, welcome, dude. This is episode 2. We're live, Instagram. Uh, so this is John Adams, everyone. He's from New Hampshire.
Hey, everyone.
Uh, I think he froze.
I you you froze and maybe now I'm
Yeah, it's well, I mean, we'll get there. Um, so I've been seeing your shots. You've been taking a lot of sunrise shots and surf photos. You got this really giant swell that came in there last weekend, or maybe it was like right around Christmas.
yeah.
And I think I followed you because you were taking aviation photos, and then I saw surf shots. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm gonna definitely follow this guy long term.
Yeah, no.
Uh,
Kind of did the did
so
the same thing with you.
awesome, dude. So I guess we'll just jump into it. Tell me about yourself. What brought you into photography, and how did you get started?
So I live up in New Hampshire on the seacoast. Do a lot of it's kind of a real neat place to live because we've got the ocean and we've got Pease guard base right up the street. So a lot of times I can, you know, basically just do the loop and shoot the surf, shoot planes going in, depending on if they're coming in on 34 or 16, and it's just a real unique place to grab photos. Having being east facing, and you get the sunrises,
Yeah.
um, and then we only have 13 miles of coast, but there's a lot of spots to just check surf. And my usual routine is to like go check the surf, shoot it, because I know as soon as I go surf, I'm not going to take another surf
Yeah.
photo until I'm done. if that
Yeah.
if that happens. So um, yeah, it's it's always been fun. And I started my father always had his camera with him, his camera or his Super 8, and just documented our entire lives, our whole life.
Awesome.
And so I guess I kind of picked up on that, and he was an aviation nut, so um, that rubbed off too. So
Oh, cool. Running in the family there.
yeah, exactly. Um,
Did you start off with surf photography, or I know you surf, so I
yes,
guess how did you get
I
into surf
surf. I
photography?
I really um, just I when I got a camera, I was like, all right, well, I'll just start taking photos of surfers and whatnot. And then of course everybody who knows you have a camera and that surfs is like, oh hey, can you take my,
Yeah.
can you get a shot? Can you get a shot? But it really just started off as just general photography, and whether it's skating or sports or landscapes and wildlife. It was really I don't have a one one specific subject matter that I like to shoot.
Focus on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really whatever's cool and just whatever I happen to come across. So sometimes it's all waves, wildlife, and planes, all in one spot. We've got a spot uh, near us, and it's right in the flight path of peas, and
oh,
so a lot of
awesome.
times I'll be shooting surfing, and then next thing you know, I look up and there's an AWACS or something, or
Man, that'd be
it's
awesome.
yeah, yeah. The other
Yeah,
day I
down.
was shooting
Go ahead.
the surf, and an Antonov came through to into peas, and I was just like shooting this way, and then you're shooting up, and you know, uh,
Yeah, I know all about that. Every time I was, we have, we would go to South Beach most of the time when it was breaking, and every time I was shooting photos there always be some type of, you know, photo plane coming over or
yeah,
helicopter. It was a helicopter. I was gonna shoot it no matter what, and then people would come out of the water and be like, "Dude, you catch that?" I was catching a helicopter.
yeah,
I was like, "All right, well, it's gonna happen."
oh yeah, yeah. I
Cool,
know.
man.
It's when you're in a target-rich environment, it's hard to figure out where you want to shoot.
Yeah, for sure. How's the surf scene up there in New Hampshire?
It's good. It's gets more and more crowded every year with the technology. Wetsuits getting
Yeah.
warmer and warmer, but surfed for a couple hours yesterday, and nobody was out. My buddy and I were just like, why is there no one in the water with us? But we didn't complain.
Yeah, for
We had
sure.
every wave we wanted, and water wasn't too bad. It was pretty good.
Cool. Yeah, that's pretty good when it's just you and your buddy out there.
Yeah.
What was the temperature out there in the water?
It was probably like low 40s. Um,
Polar
but
bear.
we we surfed for 2.5 hours,
Oh,
and
nice.
yeah, caught tons of waves, and then came home and passed out.
Oh, sure. That's awesome, man. I see that you're doing some prints for what is that, a local surf shop up there?
Yeah. So Cinnamon Rainbows, they've been a huge partner. They've done calendars. We did some postcards. They did a custom towel, and then they
Cool.
also were carrying a lot of my canvas prints. And yeah, they've been an enormous partner, and just great, great shop, great people,
Awesome.
and they,
Great support.
yeah, yeah, no, it's a great community, and they've always been so awesome to me. And it really means a lot to have that kind of support with, you know, they don't have to do it, but they do.
Yeah. Yeah, it's awesome to have that type of community up there.
Yeah.
Are you doing your own frames on that, or is that like something
Yes.
you're buying?
No. So I get the canvas printed, raw on the canvas, and then I construct the stretchers, and I put my Bachelor of Fine Arts degree to work and stretch the canvas, and uh,
Awesome.
and then I make the frames and do it all by hand. So it's all basically
Made in
handmade.
the USA.
Yep, made in the
Yeah,
USA.
for sure.
Exactly.
That's awesome, man. It's really awesome to see you getting your shots out there, the support that you're getting, the whole like community. I've only been into Portsmouth once.
Yep.
That's how you guys pronounce it, right? Portsmouth.
Yeah. Yep. Portsmouth.
Yeah, yeah. I've only been up there maybe once or twice to visit some friends, and then I moved that friend down to Florida. Took us like
Yep.
41 hours to get down here with a
Oh wow.
trailer. It was insane.
Yeah.
But I loved it that you guys are so close to Maine and just drive. It felt like
Yeah.
2 miles, and then you're like
Yep.
in the south of
Yep.
Maine.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was I love it up there. The weather was. I mean, I went both times. It was in the winter,
Yep.
but it was awesome just to see something different, something
Yeah.
different from what we have here. We have some marshes, but you guys have marshes right
Yeah.
up
Yeah.
on the
Marshes
coast.
everywhere.
Yeah, it's awesome. Um, I guess you're taking these wildlife shots right on the beach too. You get catching these
It's
eagles and
the Eagles, they're all over the place.
yeah, yeah,
But mostly, in the marsh or sometimes on the beach or on the rocks. A lot of times they'll grab a gull or,
awesome.
cormorant and dismantle it. But there's two, there's a nesting pair that's local. And so it's been pretty awesome trying, almost having them as a staple now. Um, so it's been,
Cool.
nice to see their comeback. And I remember when it was like, oh, you know, I think I saw an eagle, and now, it's not it hasn't become common, but it's not as surprising to see them. So um, it's
Yeah, I think it's it's nice that it's not common. That way, it's always a treat when you do see one.
yes,
You know, plus you got the, like the National Geographic moment going on, so
right,
that's always
exactly.
awesome too when you catch
And
that.
then when you get both of them together, that's even a better bonus.
For sure.
Um,
What's do you have a favorite subject? Or I know you said you're just going out there shooting whatever you find out there, but what's your favorite this week?
this week, probably the surf. The surf's been good. And just this morning, we had a storm coming through, so I knew with the front that we were going to have some color this morning. So got up and shot that. So that was nice. Hadn't done that in a while.
That's
I
that shot you posted today. Was that sunrise?
Yeah, yep, that was a
Oh yeah,
sunrise this morning.
that was pretty amazing.
Yeah, so
Awesome.
it was it's nice to do that. That was kind of my staple for a long time, where it was just like get up, shoot the sunrise, and
Go
anything
surf.
else that yeah, anything else that kind of happened after that. And then I kind of just stopped doing that and just kind of worked on other stuff. And I mean, it's always great when we've got jets up at Pease or so
Yeah.
that's always a treat. We had the guys from Seymour Johnson that were here for I think like 10 or 11 days,
Oh
and they were
wow.
doing two sorties a
Yeah,
day.
they're
Yeah, it was.
ripping it apart. Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
didn't
Awesome.
I did not get a lot done other than shoot, you know. Um, and we got
I know there's some I know there's some warning areas into the interiors. Do you go out up there and do some low level shooting?
um
Have you tried
I
it?
have not. I had an opportunity over the summer or fall, but work got in the, ruined that plan. But another spotter here, he got some killer shots, just of
Awesome.
A10s were up in the White Mountains, and he
Oh,
was at
nice.
eye level coming through, and it was yeah, he absolutely killed it.
You're gonna have to share that with me, man. I'm a lover of any A10,
Yeah.
so I got to see those shots.
Oh, oh
Uh,
yeah. Yeah.
um, what do you shoot with? I think you shoot with Nikon, right?
Yep. So I shoot with Nikon. I've got a Z8, D850, D750, and a 7200. Um, so I've got the 7200 for my water housing, and
Okay.
then you know
Yeah.
the other the others have just been upgrades. Um, so went to work today down. I work in Newburyport, Mass, which is like the southern Portsmouth.
Hmm.
And so I shot out to whenever I go to the office, I'll go out to Plum Island, and there was a Coast Guard helicopter, training with one of their
Awesome.
little boats. So got some shots of that, and um, went to see if get some owls or harriers or whatnot, but no such luck. Nothing was. Everything was, I think, hunkered down before the storm.
Yeah. Yeah, they know when it's gonna blow in.
Yeah.
Cool. What do you normally shoot with the water housing?
Um, I've got an Aquatech, so just the base model that I kind of got, you know, into it. I should use it more, but I'm a selfish surfer and end up surfing more than I shoot. Everyone's like, "Oh, can you shoot with bring your water housing?" And I'm like, I'm gonna surf. So,
Yeah, I have a
but
few
every now and
friends
then,
that do
the stars will
do
will align.
both. They
Yeah.
have it in their car. They
So yeah, yeah, yeah. That's my one vice that I could surf every day and never get tired of it.
You're living the life.
Yeah, yeah. It's been pretty good. We had a good September and October. I was tracking the waves, and I think September I had over 300 waves, and October was like two and change.
Wow,
So we had some, and the water was warm, and it was pretty good. So now
awesome.
it's time to buckle down and get some work done.
That's cool, man. Um, I didn't see any questions when we had asked in the story, and I had asked in the chat. I didn't see any questions for you. Um, I was trying to figure out. I was going through all of my questions from episode one. Do you have um, a favorite lens to shoot with?
I mean, I seem, just because of the subject matter that I shoot, the majority of the shots are with my 200 500 Nikon. Um, so I've been able to really kind of push that to the limits, even shooting landscape with it, which sounds kind of
Mm,
odd, but um,
yeah,
you know, we've got some faraway lighthouses, and that works out. It works out well because you can frame it up, um, and then obviously with the wildlife and surfing, you need the reach.
definitely. I saw a photo of one of these houses that are right on the coast that you had shot. It's
Yep.
like kind of dilapidated right now.
Oh
And I
yeah.
was like, man, I know I saw that house when I went up there. I'm looking at my photos of New Hampshire. I'm looking at
Was
my
it the
Lightroom
pink?
catalog.
Was it the pink
The pink
house?
house,
Yeah.
yeah. And
Yep.
I'm
That's
looking
actually
at
on the
my,
way to. That's on the way to Plum Island. That's in Newbury.
yeah,
Um,
I
so
don't have photos of that house, but I know I
yeah,
saw it when I was down there.
yeah,
Uh, yeah, I'm looking at my gallery here. This is from February 5th, 2002 was the
yeah.
last time I was in New Hampshire.
Oh,
It's
really?
been a long time. Yeah.
Well, we'll have to get you back up here, and not in the winter. We'll, I'm sure your blood is
Yeah.
thinned out.
Yeah, it's probably thinned out a bit. Um, yeah, I have photos. Let's see what my photos are here. I tell you, I look pretty freaking skinny. Fort McClary. I
Yep.
went to go visit that. Got a bunch of pictures of the lighthouse way off coast. I was shooting with a Nikon. Um, what was I shooting with? I think it was a Kodak point and shoot when I was up there
Yeah.
in 2002. I didn't get my Nikon D70 until 2004, but yeah, I got a bunch of pictures of that port. I forget what it is. It's like where they have the submarines. Where
Oh yeah.
they still building submarines out there?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Portsmouth Naval
Yeah,
Shipyard.
yeah,
Yeah.
naval shipyard.
Yeah. They just
Yeah,
put in a giant new dry dock last year.
oh, cool. So you see those things lifted up out of the water.
I mean, you don't see anything.
No,
They keep they
cover
keep
thing,
everything
everything up.
pretty. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, they on this day they had like the radomes out, just a
yep.
nose cone.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a bummer. I would have loved to see a submarine come in there. Have you seen one of those come into the harbor?
I've never.
Really?
I've yep, every time one comes or goes, I seem to somehow miss it. But hopefully
Miss it.
one day.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
They're probably coming in the middle of the night.
yeah.
All right, cool. Let's see. You have any questions for me?
Um, well, I think you probably answered all the questions in episode one. But what's your as far as I see you're getting into some astrophotography, which I that's another thing I will dabble in. Get some Milky Way shots and meteors and on those rare occasions in Northern Lights up here.
Yeah, I saw that photo that you took from
Yeah.
it was like December, October, December, something
Yeah,
like that.
it was still fairly warm. So it's probably like October-ish or so. And
Yeah.
it I could not believe my eyes when it just started going crazy. It and a lot of people have been like, I went to Alaska or Iceland or Finland to see that, and you see it in your own backyard better than I did. It was kind of
Yeah, it was pretty awesome.
yeah,
I've been doing a little bit, kind of also dabbling. Hey, Alan, how you doing? Welcome to the show. Sledge photography down there.
yeah,
Um, I've been kind of dabbling in astrophotography for a little bit. I always like to push my settings to the max when it comes down to any type of kind of camera setting. I'm shooting with my Nikon D500, and the lens of choice is an 18 to 200 that I've
yeah,
had for probably 12 years or so. And I shoot it on at 18 millimeters, like pretty
yeah,
much all the time. Set it to infinity right between the, three 3 millimeters on the focal ring, and just I think I get down to 3.5. So I turn up the ISO to probably 2000. Let me see what my last one is. Hold on. This is the shot book I was talking about last episode.
yeah,
I have all my settings in here from Astro to low light for aviation. Let's see. Here's a long exposure Milky Way. 3.5, ISO 1600 for 20 seconds, which is like your maximum
yeah,
shutter time before you start getting star streaks.
yep,
And it was a Milky Way shot that I got. So been messing around with that. I also do like stacked images. I did 22 frames stacked just to see what it would look like.
yeah,
I think what I want to do this year is more star trails,
yep,
like point to the northern Polaris and just turn it on for you know 7 minutes and see what happens.
yeah,
Um, I get a few shots with the rocket launches that we got down here, and let me see if I have a quick one that I could kind of go through setting wise. All of this
on the
stuff
old
now.
bucket list. Try to do that. Catch a rocket launch.
Yeah,
Every now and then we'll get one that comes up the coast and
yeah,
get a
and
quick
you could
glimpse
see it
of
from
it.
up there.
Oh
Wow,
yeah, yeah. I was in
that's incredible.
last was it last year? We were in Puerto Rico on a surf trip and we were cooking and one of my buddies was like, "Oh, check out that helicopter." And I looked and it was actually a rocket that had launched
Holy
from
cow!
Florida and was coming right up and over us and
Wow.
I couldn't grab my camera fast enough and I mean, I got some shots, but some of the shots that came out from Puerto Rico, huge jellyfish. Yeah,
Awesome.
they were the videos and everything were just incredible. And unfortunately, I got it just as it went into the clouds, and so little bum there. But it was,
Yeah, but to still be able to see that from way down south.
oh yeah,
Yeah. So I can't find the last one I have. But as far as rocket photography, I'm probably going to use these settings for um, Star Trails. I think it was, uh, and the rocket photography is so crazy because you think that you're going to be able to get uh, a good trail, but the amount of light that comes out of that rocket, it'll blow out anything.
That's
You
crazy.
if you have a high ISO, so you have to shoot with like a low ISO, so you can expose for the light. But you don't know this until it happens, and you have maybe 2 seconds to change the settings and then
Yeah.
do a long exposure.
Oh,
So I did
that would be so
the
disappointing.
first one I did was and I have a cable release on my camera,
Yeah.
and that thing works when it wants to. So that's
Oh,
another layer of stress that I have to deal with. Um, but I think I'm gonna probably do like a 4 minute exposure, just kind of set it and forget it, kind of do
yeah.
something else while I'm
I know.
setting this star
I've
trail
seen so
and
many
figure it out.
insane, so many insane shots from down there on the rocket launches and whatnot.
Oh
Man.
yeah, we got a lot of talented photographers down here.
Yeah. What's up, Larry Zevon? I saw you pop up there about your Puerto Rico photography skills. He got a bunch of shots of us when we were down there last year. So always nice to get shots of, be on the other side of the lens. So he definitely delivered while we were there.
Awesome. Yeah, I have. I get asked a bunch of times if I ever surfed, and unfortunately for me, I had a really bad eyesight all my life, and I was always
Yeah.
afraid of just hurting someone bad when I went out.
Yeah.
Um, I surfed in Costa Rica. I figured I didn't know anyone there, so if I hurt someone too bad, I could probably just get back on my flight and come back home. But I would go and try to learn how to surf, kind of get past the breakers, uh, for a few times that I've gone out. Um, and my local break down here, I just didn't want to risk someone getting hurt. So I
Yeah.
never
Yeah. Dude.
kind of like, okay, well, I'll just stay on the beach.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, all right. I think that's all my questions, man. I don't
All
have a
right.
lot.
Yeah.
Well, cool.
No.
How can people find your shots?
Everything that I post on Instagram, so it's J Adams photography at, yeah, J Adams photography or underscore J underscore Adams underscore photography is the best way to find it, and everything gets pushed onto Facebook also. So um, I've got a website, but I've been very lax in updating it, so I'll have to be better at doing that. And that's on my 2024 list of things to be better at.
Yeah, I think my 2024. I'm probably going to get rid of my webpage. I don't think there's a need for that anymore,
Yeah,
unfortunately. Everything's on social media nowadays. Uh,
right.
do
Yeah,
you
I
have
mean that's.
any? Sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say that's where the majority of any business or correspondence happens. Every
Yeah,
now and then I'll get a surprise, order through the website, but I'd say 9 out of 10 come through either Instagram or Facebook.
yeah. Do you have any photographic New Year's resolutions?
I'm looking to kind of broaden my horizons and or like geographic horizons. So shoot more inland and go to some different places and shoot some different subject, locations and whatnot. So that'll want to try to travel some more and maybe do some international stuff. So that's uh that's the goal. And
Yeah. Well, good luck, man. I hope you get some international
yeah,
aircraft and surf at the same time.
yeah, no, my dad was British, so we would go to England all the time, and
Awesome.
so we'd go to, he was from Bury St Edmunds, and so it was near Mindenhall and Lakenheath, and so we were always tooling around that area.
Cool.
Uh, and actually saw, I think it was the final flight of the Vulcan, which
Very
was
cool.
by far the loudest aircraft I've ever heard in my life. It like pulverized my bones. It was so loud, but um, and it was just remarkable, just how big it actually is. Um,
Hmm.
what's Campos on the hat? Yep, Campos. Another question from Larry, and my buddy and I started a towel company, so we've done a couple shots with a couple of my shots on the towels, and it's got attachment points, and so it's some kind of like a Swiss Army knife of towels. So it's a seat cover and a board sling, and we've had some people carrying their little dogs in it, and so it's
Oh,
kind
that's
of a
cool.
yeah, it's a neat little endeavor that we just started up, and um, so yeah, it's been pretty good so far. So
Oh,
far,
that's
so
awesome.
good. Yeah, you know, multiple sources of income, right? Makes it
Yeah, for sure. You got to
a little less
monopolize
dull.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyone else got some questions for John? Go ahead and put it into the live here. We'll try to answer them. John or me. You can either ask any of us.
Going once,
And if anyone
going twice.
wants to join in, I got some ideas for February. I have some ideas for March. So if you want to join in on the conversation, talk about what spotting is for you. Doesn't matter what you do. If it's aviation, that's definitely not for me.
That's
um,
a question for Oscar, right? Not me, right? Must be the Topaz guy. Oh man, too funny.
editing software like that.
What's that?
Do you use any Topaz editing software?
Yeah, yeah. Actually, I've used that. It's actually saved quite a few shots that ordinarily would have been in the trash.
Yeah.
Um, I try to limit it to um, you know only trying to rescue something. It's more of like a rescue software, but uh, and
Those
help
blurry shots,
help.
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, how did I
Larry,
get,
questions.
man, that's a good question. It's kind of crazy because so I got LASIK in 2022 during like we were still in the middle of COVID, I guess. And my one worry was like, man, I really hope I don't lose my eye um, in photographic sense. Well, I didn't want to lose my eyes anyway, but in a photographic sense, because it was my eyesight was really bad. I could be kind of in this distance now, and I couldn't even see your face, even if we were on the phone here. Um, but with a camera, I could use the lens to help, you know, narrow in, like sight into what I wanted to look at. So I thought, oh man, this is great. I could use a 500 millimeter lens, look further than I can look right now, and I just kind of stuck with it. And I just felt like I could see so much better through my camera as a better pair of glasses than if I didn't have my glasses. So I mean, if on the other flip side of that, with my glasses off, I couldn't see anything through my camera anyway. So who knows if it was my my glasses, my poor vision, or the glasses. So yeah, after LASIK, now I'm like, oh man, I want to go surfing now. Now that I could see people.
There you go.
So I just got to get a board. Maybe
Yeah, got to get on
I
it.
don't know. I'm kind of indifferent now. I've been so far, few years after it. So um, I'm like, okay, do I want to go back to the beach? It's always freaking crowded. There's always tourists down there. So I don't know. Maybe I'll figure something out. Just go out there,
I'm sure you
body
will.
surf or something.
Yeah.
I'll be a sponger. You got spongers up there in New Hampshire?
A little bit, not a ton, but you know,
Yeah,
we've got a
yeah,
few.
yeah. Yeah. Anyone else for? Yeah, no problem, man. Thanks for asking the question. Any other questions in there? Welcome, Alf. I see you joined. No.
Well, I guess
Well,
that's a wrap.
yeah, it worked out pretty well. Thanks for joining. Hope it was fun for you. You know,
Yeah.
it was
No.
kind of fun
That was
for
fun.
me.
Yeah.
Learned a lot,
Absolutely.
man. Thanks a lot. Thanks
No
for telling about
problem.
your favorite spot right around the airport and surf and catching the National Geographic. You got to show some more National Geographics. I want to see that nature is what's that? You follow that
Oh yeah,
that
Nature's Metal. Yeah.
Nature's Medal. Yeah, I got to see more of those.
Oh yeah. No,
All
I've,
right,
I've
man.
got I've got quite a few. So
Yeah,
yeah,
awesome.
I'll get them over to you. All
All right.
right.
Well,
Well,
thanks for everyone
appreciate
for
it.
joining. And the next, let me see what the next showing is going to be. It's going to be in February. Let me get my calendar real quick. Stand by. Planning on doing it February 6th. So first week of the month. That way we don't have to worry about Valentine's Day and doing it that week.
Oh,
So February 6th is the next one. Anyone that wants to join, send me a message. And you want to talk about photography or, people watching or whatever you want to do. Yeah, no problem, Alf. And the new thing now is tomorrow I'll probably have it up on Spotify. So if you missed it here, you'll have the audio on Spotify. And if you ever miss a live episode, um, probably going to do just some audio ones. It's a little easier. You don't have a lot of interruptions. Hopefully the connection's better. So it'll be up there to listen if you're on your way to work, school, surf, it'll be there. Thanks, John.
all right. Thank
Hope you
you.
catch some more waves this week. Keep the count going up, and
Yeah.
looking
No,
forward to what you
looks
post
like.
next.
All right. Sounds good. Appreciate it.
All right, all
All
right,
right. Take
everyone. Thanks for
care.
coming by.
All right. See you.
See ya.